everybody, welcome back to the Amoretti Test Kitchen. Today I am so excited to be teaching you how to make caramel apple flavored mummy cake pops. They are so adorable and perfect for the whole family. In these cake pops, I am going to be using our sweet apple extract in the cake itself, our Madagascar bourbon vanilla extract in the cream cheese frosting, and I'm going to be using our caramel oil-soluble extract in the candy coating that goes on top. These are so delicious and so fun to make, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is make our cake. You can make it homemade. I'm just going to use a boxed cake for ease and convenience. You're gonna wanna just follow whatever instructions are on the back of your cake mix or your favorite cake recipe. Today, I'm going to be using our sweet apple extract. It's such a fun flavor, and I think you can do so much with it. It's great for kids, it's great for adults. Literally anyone will love this flavor. And now we mix. Now that everything is all mixed, we are going to pour this into our greased cake pan and bake it. It doesn't matter what kind of pan you use for your cake because we're just going to be smushing it all up to make the cake pops anyway. I'm using a 9x13 just because it cooks a little bit faster and I find it cools down a little bit faster as well. So let's pop these in the oven. So we have taken our cake out of the oven. It smells absolutely amazing. Now we're going to set this aside and let it cool while we make our frosting. Now you only need a very small amount of frosting for these cake pops, so I'm going to make the tiniest amount of frosting you can imagine. We are going to mix together our cream cheese, our butter. First, we're just going to mix those together. You can use a hand mixer or a stand mixer, but it's such a small amount that I'm just going to do it by hand. I usually like to use cold cream cheese when making cream cheese frosting, but since I am mixing it by hand, I like to let the cream cheese warm up just a little bit to avoid clumping. Now we are going to add in our powdered sugar. As you can see, it's getting pretty thick, so you can always use your spatula to remove it from your whisk. And if you find it easier, you can also mix this with a fork. And now we are going to add in our vanilla Madagascar bourbon extract. Just a very small amount of it. We're gonna do about half of 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I'm just going to mix that together with my spatula. And to make sure you don't have any clumps in your frosting, you can always move it up the sides of the bowl and work those clumps out. So now we are ready to make our cake pops. That recipe should have yielded about 1/4 of a cup of cream cheese frosting. So now we are going to add it onto our cake and then make the cake pops. I have added the frosting to the cake, and now all you're going to do is break the cake up and mix it in with the frosting. This is the fun part. You can get the whole family involved. It's great for kids. It's even fun for adults too. You're going to want to break it up really nice so there are no large chunks of cake or lumps of frosting in the mix. So now we have reached a very good texture to make our cake pops. What you're going to want to do is get a baking sheet or something that you can easily slide into your freezer, and we will form our cake pops into balls. You're going to want to melt just a little bit of chocolate to dip your sticks in, so that way when you put it into the cake pop, it stays. After that, you're going to stick it either on a cake pop holder, or you can poke some holes in a shoebox and then slide it right into the fridge for them to chill. So I've melted my chocolate down in the microwave in bursts of 15 seconds, and now we are going to form our cake balls. I'm going to be using an ice cream scoop to measure out how much, and then roll them in your hands. And now you are just going to dip your stick into your chocolate and then into your cake ball. Now we are going to let these chill in the freezer for about 15 minutes before you do any further decorating. That way they can solidify and they're nice and hard so that you can dip them in your chocolate and decorate them. I have let the cake pops chill in the freezer for about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I melted about 3/4 of a cup of white chocolate chips. And now I'm going to flavor it with our caramel oil-soluble extract. Now make sure when you're working with chocolate that you always use an oil-soluble extract. Water and chocolate do not mix. You're going to want to mix that into your chocolate, and then we can dip our mummy cake pops in our white uncolored chocolate. Once we have dipped them, we will then add our little eyeballs. Be sure to let all the excess chocolate drip off so you don't make a big mess on your cake pop holder. And now we're going to stick on our eyeballs. So the chocolate on our cake pops have now set, and it is time to create its little bandages. So I have melted down some white chocolate with a little bit of coconut oil, and now I am going to lightly spread it on our mummy. Careful not to get its eyes. You're just going to want to repeat that step with all of your cake pops. And there we have it, spooky mummy cake pops, caramel apple flavored. If you give it a try, head down to the comment section and tell us what you think. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any fun recipes, tips and tricks, or testimonials from our awesome customers. Make sure to follow us as @Amoretti on our other socials as well, on Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Bye for now.